So Dana White out here taking over again. Dana White over here taking over again. This dude David Avenesian blast. Oh, it's on YM Sports Media. David Avenesian blast Terrence Crawford over busted gloves. Bro, get out of here, bro. You ain't. Terrence Crawford should have never gave this dude a chance, man. That's how I feel about David Avenesian. Terrence Crawford should have never gave you a chance. Tired of hearing about that guy and those busted gloves. You wouldn't go win the fight anyways, bro. But yeah, man, Ryan Garcia, he's being sued right now again, for this whole situation with the pay-per-view he had coming up with the Asian guy, Japanese guy, Ampo, guy who fought Manny Pacquiao last year. See, what a lot of people don't realize is Ryan Garcia was going to try to fight Manny Pacquiao last year after he fought Devin Haney. They was going to try to fight each other, him and Manny Pacquiao. That's what a lot of people don't realize. That's why him and Manny Pacquiao got the same kind of opponent. They was both going to fight the same guy. Manny Pacquiao fought Ampo. Then Ryan Garcia was going to fight Ampo. But yeah, him and Manny Pacquiao was planning on fighting each other if he wouldn't have got suspended. They never announced it though. So that's why they went with the Ampo guy. They were just gonna have a little, fight on the side. That's why he wasn't looking towards fighting Devin Haney again. But with this lawsuit situation from Ampo's people, this is definitely a bad look because what are they looking for? The money? Do they want their money back or do they want him to stay obligated and actually fight? So he's in a bad situation, and it looks like he's doing bad business over there. I thought Golden Boy didn't co-sign that fight. So how's the signature even valid? That's a whole nother discussion though, on their part. But what this goes to show is it's a lot of chinks in their armor when it comes to them putting fights together and also just everything that's going around negotiations and putting fights together. For some reason with Ryan, it's just shaky situations. Not even just him though, it's the people around him, because you would think this situation will already be avoided before the turkey on the sheet deal even got done, but no, they didn't bother to call these people. That's crazy. They just went ahead and got the deal done. And you have to also realize this isn't Ryan doing his deals for him, for himself. Somebody else is doing them. So I know a lot of people hear his name, they just automatically think, okay, he's doing the deals. Nah, he's not doing the deals. Somebody else is helping them put the deals together. And for him to be getting sued right now goes to show. It really goes to show that he definitely needs some improvement done around his so with himself. Because a lot of people don't realize it right now. It's a lot of fighters right now getting caught for old PED tests they had back in the day or whatever. There's a lot of that stuff going on right now. Yeah, it's a lot of that stuff going on. A lot of that is going on. So don't be surprised if you see guys over the next couple of years get caught for old tests. That's kind of dangerous, though. I don't know how you go about boxing and guys, are getting caught for old tests. And they still boxing already. So are they still on it, or did they just test for that one fight? That's a crazy situation. That's very crazy when you really think about it. But Dana White, man, I'll get back to the Ryan thing in a minute. But with Dana White, that's what I really wanted to discuss because he's definitely taking over right now. And the reason why is because everybody, including the fans and the promoters, have been playing this little game where it's PBC versus the zone and the zone versus uh top rank versus PBC and this guy on the sides of the street and everything else. All that stuff is played out now, man. It hasn't helped build boxing. It's helped build brands. We didn't help build brands as far as platforms and brands like PBC or whatever, but it hasn't mostly benefited boxing. It's benefited the elite boxers who deserve to get paid. It definitely has, but long term, I don't know if it benefited them. I don't know if it benefited those guys. Because when I look at boxing, it almost makes them look a little lazy, to be honest with you. The way I look at it, guys look a little lazy to me as far as you see, like people not really getting in the ring right now. I don't know if it's because of the dates, but it might just be a promotional team thing. Because Top Rank, they're moving right now. They're keeping guys active. But with ESPN about to do away with boxing, that's gonna make it a little harder in the future. But yeah, guys is moving right now. Definitely moving. You get left behind right now, you're not gonna be able to bounce back. You are definitely not gonna be able to bounce back. And Dana White, the way he does things, like I was saying here, Ryan Garcia talking about, man, I don't know if guys gonna like to pay. Guys don't like what they getting paid now, bro. You just got paid because you fought Tank and Devin Haney. Guys, a lot of guys ain't getting paid a certain way now. There's a lot more boxers who aren't elite or not put on the pedestal than there is guys who are. A lot of guys afraid because they know that A side, B side stuff ain't gonna work. They seen how old boy lost on UFC last week. That Alex Fileta guy, and they like, man, if he lost, I know Dana White would do me the same way in boxing. So a lot of guys looked at that and they know what time it is. Yeah, they know what time it is. They know how dangerous it is right now to get into a system like Dana White's. His biggest star last week in UFC just lost, and he didn't try to save him. So a lot of boxers seeing that and they like, you know what? Man, it's gonna be tough over there. But as far as the pay, I mean, guys ain't getting paid that much right now, so I don't think they got to worry about getting paid or how much they're getting paid. They're gonna have to worry about getting their bodies ready to fight a lot more than they used to, or they're used to fighting. That's gonna be the biggest adjustment. Because with him, you're fighting every weekend. That's the one thing about Dana White. You're gonna be fighting. It's gonna be a fight on every weekend. I mean, he's doing that now in UFC. Gonna bring that same kind of model over, and it works. And Turkey Al-Sheikh trusts him a lot more than other boxing promoters. I don't know why. Maybe he's done it at a higher level for a longer time than most of those guys. But yeah, I think when Turkey seen what Dana White did at the Sphere, that time when he was visiting in Vegas when Canelo fought that night, I think around that time he seen Dana White's vision and he was like, oh yeah, we can definitely work together. You know, they was already working together around that time, so. Yeah, a lot of people overlooked that, but they was already working together. They had Jake Paul in there that night. There was a lot of people in there. Yeah, it was a lot of people in there that night. But he's taking over, man. Boxing is it's getting a new, manager as far as the talent. And it needs to because, a lot of guys retiring right now didn't get a chance to really showcase themselves. It's sad seeing some of these fighters like Jarrett Hurd recently. Come on, man. Jarrett Hurd is way better than what he got displayed over the last couple of decades. I mean, last decade or so. J Rock, that's another guy who could have been in. He was in some big time fights, but they tried to turn him into a gatekeeper recently almost. And he been out for a long time, no activity. Like the thing that been hurting fighters the most is the activity. Like guys not getting in the ring and actually being able to stay active. That been destroying a lot of careers, man. More than people realize. Not being active been a career killer for a lot of people. It's a lot of people that should have been active. I'm telling you, if J Rock and a lot of other guys on PBC would have been a lot more active, these guys would be okay right now. As far as being at the top of their game, but for them not to be active, and man, it was bad seeing Jarrett Hurd recently. You could tell he hasn't been active. And he was already in some tough fights. But you can already tell, man, that dude ain't been active like that, man. So to be honest with you, we need a Dana White right now. Very bad. Because even if, let's just say, even if Dana White wasn't paying guys that much, they would still be more active enough to actually go get a bag. These guys ain't even active enough right now. It take boxers usually like 2 years to really hit your stride. If you've been sitting out for a while. Just like with what's his name, Nicholas Walters. I know he was supposed to fight last year around in the fall. They pushed it back all the way until now. I'm like, man, that dude gonna lose, man. It's been years since he fought. He comes back, get a big upset. Then they let him sit out even longer than he's supposed to. He's gonna lose. That man was training by himself that whole time. Then he come back, get in the mix, and then all of a sudden he gets more rusty than he was before when he was inactive. So yeah, they gotta change that. If they don't, that's why guys are like, yeah, man, the pay with Dana White gotta be good, bro. They're not paying y'all now. If you're not Ryan Garcia, Tank, any of the top heavyweights, I mean, Bivol and Bitterbeer, they only got how much they last fight? They ain't really even get that much they last fight. That's a good question. How much them dudes got in their last fight? 10 million. They only made $10 million a piece. $10 million. Now these is the best of the best right now. They only made $10 million a piece in their last fight. Joseph Parker got $2 million in his last fight. McCauley got what, 600,000. And that was supposed to be a loaded card. So just think about a regular card. Yeah, that's why I said Dana White, he gonna be able to pay all that. Yeah, he'll be able to pay that, no question. Yeah, a lot of this stuff I'm saying, he'll be able to pay it. I need to find this picture. Where that picture at? Well, I had a picture where I found all the payments as far as how much certain guys were getting paid. They're not even paying guys that much. Where is it at? Hopefully I can find it. No, I don't think this is it. No, this ain't it. This had to be like last Friday or something. Yeah, it'll take me a long time to find that. But yeah, I was trying to find the pay for the I be having so many screenshots, it'll take all day to find that. The pay for these fights. But yeah, these guys ain't really paying that much, man. That's what I'm telling y'all, bruh. Bitterbeer and Bivol just made $10 million. They just made 10 million. And Amanda Serrano them almost got that much. I know they thinking like, man, we making that now. That's why it's crazy to me when I'm saying, hey, how much y'all paying these people? If I was a boxer, I'm like, man, no way they getting paid that much. Here you go, right here. I gotta start naming some of these screenshots. I got so many screenshots. It's a wrap. But look, I mean, they ain't paying that much. Man, Dana White can pay that. Trust me. Everybody was saying as far as the payments, he'll be able to pay that. That's nothing. I think if you really want to look at this era of boxing the last 10 years, if you want to see what kind of impact Dana White can make, look at the fights that they didn't make the last 10 years that they could have made. They haven't made Joshua Wilder. They haven't made Joshua Fury. Um, and that's just a couple of fighters. Think of the other divisions. It's a lot of fights they haven't made yet. And they're not even paying that much. Paying Rocha 75, Frederick Lawson. Yeah, man, this look like a UFC card right here. So Dana will be able to pay this. This ain't nothing. So the only guys that's really worried about getting paid a certain amount of money is the guys that's fighting, you know, lower level champions or lower level contenders for big amounts of money. Or the big name guys, you know, Ryan Garcia, Tank, Canelo. Canelo gonna get paid regardless, so he's not worried about that. But I don't think Dana White trying to sign with those guys immediately. I think he's trying to get the mid-level to lower level guys first. You know, just like he did in UFC. Everybody wasn't a star when he brought them over in UFC. I know they had guys in Pride fighting, but the guys who were stars in Pride fighting, they wasn't necessarily the stars in UFC. You know, by the time he brought those guys over from Pride fight, I mean, if people know the history behind that, you can understand that. How he gonna be able to get the talent. And they got a tournament coming up. So they got a tournament coming up, Ring Magazine tournament. He's gonna go through that. He's gonna look at the talent, the best fighters out of that tournament. He's gonna pick out of that. Then he's gonna also pick away from fighters he's had on UFC Fight Pass that people overlook. He's been having boxing matches on that for a while now. So all that's gonna make sense after a while. But he's definitely making moves. He'll be able to pay these guys. These purses aren't that big. These purses definitely aren't that big. That's why I'm trying to figure out now if Bitter Biv and Bivol made $10 million a piece fighting with Turkey Al-Sheikh, and Serrano, them, they getting like $7 million a piece fighting on Mike Tyson card. How is everybody else not getting paid a certain way? And you got to realize that Serrano fight was a co-main event, and it was on the Jake Paul card. So I don't know too many boxers that can get on a co-main event and get $7 million like that. So when they start throwing money around like that, that's why people don't got to understand what's really going on. When they passing around money like that, you got to understand that a lot of top fighters ain't getting paid the right way. Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that. That's why people were saying, man, Tyson Fury, he'll stick around because, you know, the money, he can't turn down the money. Bro, he done already turned down money before. He could have fought Usyk years ago. He could have fought Joshua. A lot of these guys years ago. It's just that everybody not in a position to turn down money. See, they think everybody's in a position like Tank or Canelo. They could just turn down this fight or this amount of money. No, certain people can't do that. And in boxing now, it's going to be even harder to do that because it's not that many people paying the amount of money that you're going to get Turkey Al-Sheikh. So all Turkey did was kind of expose these other promoters like, yeah, these guys ain't really paying like that to be holding these fights hostage. And he seen the little games they play behind the scenes, allegedly. Seen the little games they play behind the scenes where they like, oh, this guy, trying to act like they trying to build up a fight. It's too late in the game now to be building up fights. That's how you know they OD right now. And then the guy, I seen promoters even admitting that recently, saying that these guys been milking fights too much recently. They've been milking way too many fights. Most of the fights you see or you talking about aren't fights that actually been built up. People want to, like recently, people said, that's why I said, man, you got to have these fights happen because you're going to be in a position where you never get a chance to see this fight. Like right now, people want to see Roach and Tank fight again. They don't want to see the fights they've been talking about. They want to see from Tank as far as Shakur and everyone else. Now they want to see a rematch. That's why I said if every fight he has, if it's close, they're gonna be asking for a rematch. So you ain't gonna never be able to get to these other fights. And if you do, you're gonna have a stain on your record. That's why they gotta have one-offs in these fights, man. They don't. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. We backed up already. That's why I'm trying to figure out what the issue is. They said the money. I'm not getting the money from boxing, so I don't have to worry about that. Uh, that's a personal thing as far as promoters and fighters. Second part is the matchups. I think that's gonna happen because everybody's, gonna need somewhere to go. It's not that many platforms anymore. And the third thing is gonna be as far as the activity. And I think that's cool. They're gonna be active. It's gonna be a lot of guys working, trying to get some things done. And the people who want to fight, they're gonna be fighting. The people who don't, they won't. I know if this was happening in the 1950s or something, I know a lot of boxers would be happy right now. Because you're getting a chance to prove yourself in a lot of different ways. Even if you don't have a promoter right now, you still had a chance to get in that little tournament they had on that Turkey Al Sheik is doing. I think it's next month too, if I'm not mistaken. I think the tournament is next month. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say the tournament is next month in April. I'm gonna have to look it up. I forgot what it was called too. Yes, but I like the direction boxing headed to right now. You're gonna have to go out there and really prove yourself. It's tournament style, really. It's gonna be past the stages of building up people. Hopefully. Because I still don't like that Ryan and Rolly matchup. I don't care what nobody say. Nah, you don't do that. As a main event too? Nah. I still don't like that matchup. I ain't going for it. Him fighting Rolly right now is nasty work. That's crazy. The fact that people even giving that a pass is like, okay, I see what y'all on. But yeah, speaking of the Ryan thing, back to that. Um, yeah, the reason why he even set up the fight is because he was gonna fight the same guy that Manny Pacquiao fought. Telling you, him and Manny Pacquiao was gonna fight each other. It was definitely gonna happen. He already knew he was a 147. That's when Manny fights at. And he ended up trying to fight the Japanese guy. Then figured out, hey, if I do fight him, I'm still trying to be ready for December, so I don't want nothing to happen. I mean, not December, but April, when I get off my suspension. So let me just go ahead and cancel that. Then Oscar was already trying to plan some things with Turkey. So this man ends up canceling the fight or pulling out of the fight, talking about he got an injury. I knew he was lying. So that's another situation too. Ryan Garcia talking about something he had an injury, he pulled out of the fight with Ampo. And the dude ain't have no injury, allegedly. Because if he did have an injury, how you gonna get ready for this fight? So they came out and they gonna sue Ryan Garcia, man. Because the people that's suing him is not even the people that specifically putting the fight together. The people that's actually suing Ryan Garcia are the people who are selling the pay-per-view. Because right now they got a lot of people who bought the pay-per-view thinking that they're gonna put the fight on. And they don't feel like giving those people their money back. They probably already spent their money. So in their mind, they're like, yeah, this fight gonna happen already. So let me go ahead and just invest this money we just made off the fight back into the fight. And now they're saying they already invested over $1 million into the fight with Ryan Garcia and Ampo. And he pulled out of the fight saying he had an injury. So now he got to prove that he had an injury. He got to have some kind of x-rays or some kind of doctors that say that he was injured in December. That's why he didn't take the fight. So he going to have a lot of issues over the next couple of weeks. I don't know if this is going to interfere with his fight with Rolly. They could come out and say some things like, hey, man, he don't need to be fighting this guy, Romero, when he already got a contract with us. Because I noticed Jake Paul didn't really come out and say nothing like that. So him and Canelo, they got some ideas as far as if they're going to fight each other in the future. But with Ryan and this other guy, it's not the fighter who's actually, or his promotional team who's actually suing Ryan. It's the pay-per-view platform. And they want their money. Or they want to keep the money they made already. They don't want to get it. They do not want to give any refunds back. And that's going to be a bad look too, because if Ryan wants to fight in Japan one day, they going to be like, nah, we ain't going to. You remember what happened last time he came out here? So he doing bad business right now. And it's going to be a bad look if he's caught lying about injuring his wrist last year. If that's a fake injury, he going to lose money. And he going to get exposed too. Because I don't know why he was setting the fight up there and lie about being injured. I guess since he had already signed a contract or whatever, that wasn't no way he could pull out the fight. Because once you do a press conference, it's kind of hard to turn around and just, for no good reason, to say, nah, I'm not doing the fight. Usually doesn't happen. So yeah, man, he definitely gonna have a lot of he's gonna burn a lot of bridges. People don't understand that, but he's definitely gonna burn a lot of bridges. So he basically did the same thing Canelo did, but except Canelo and Jake Paul, they probably got an understanding like, hey, we'll fight down the line. You know what I'm saying? The contract done already, so you ain't got to worry about going back and forth right now. Because Jake Paul ain't thinking about suing Canelo, which everybody knows it's not going to happen because he already signed the contract. If Canelo signed the contract to come to a event I got, and I'm like, all right, well, he ain't got to come to this event, but he can come to the one in the summertime. That's cool then. As long as I got the contract, got the proof that he said he was going to come, that's it. But the people who's putting on the fight, that's a different story. Like the platform that's putting on the fights, that's a different story. That's what Ryan Garcia's at right now, where they're like, oh nah. He said that we was gonna put the fight up. We still promoting the fight. They still selling pay-per-views right now for the fight. If you look up Ampo versus Ryan Garcia, they selling the fight for $50 right now. You can go buy it. That's the problem. That's why they suing Ryan Garcia. They like, bro, we can't take this down. If we take this down right now and tell everybody that it's not a real fight, I don't know if they did already take it down, but if they take the fight down and tell everybody it's not a real fight, they're not gonna make any money ever again. See, they selling the fight right now. Early 2025. Early 2025. New date. $50 buy now. New date announcement soon. Two fierce superstars face off in the heart of Japan. You click buy now. And they gonna let you buy the fight. That's crazy. Yeah, this dude's, he's through, man. $50 fight. You see that? Look. You can buy it right now. This dude tripping, man. Whoever his manager is, they doing a bad job with Ryan, bro. I'm telling you. People just think, oh, that's just the last fight. Nah, this is stuff that been going on. This is bad business. And he's fighting Rolly. Yeah, this stuff gonna catch up to Ryan real quick. And he's getting sued again. And the worst part about the stuff that's going on right now, I don't know if a lot of people know it, but in boxing right now, what they're doing is they're going back and finding fighters who failed drug tests 4 or 5 years ago, and they suspending them right now. Who's the guy who just got suspended from 4 or 5? Mauricio Lara. Mauricio Lara just came back from some personal stuff he had going on. And this dude just got suspended for 2 years for a fight he had like 4 years ago, I want to say. Yeah, when did he fight Lee Wood? That's crazy. Lara got suspended 2 years. Look at that. This dude got suspended 2 years. Not 1 year. I want to say that 1 year stuff. I don't know where that came from. UK was kind of nice about it. They said 2 years. Okay. he had an injection in his shoulder from an injury. So he was banned. It's somebody behind the scenes telling him, hey, you might want to get out of the game, dog. You might want to hang it up before you get caught. You said Otto keep tripping? What you mean, Joe? What you mean? He said Otto keep tripping. Yeah, but they gonna keep going back on these people and let them know, hey, um, might not be able to keep boxing the way you've been boxing. That's what I'm saying. We were trying to give people a warning recently, but a lot of things is changing in boxing, and people haven't really realized what's going on. But what's going on is they going back finding guys who was failing PEDs. This goes to show that they know guys who failed PEDs, but they overlooked it. Like, why are you going back years ago and suspending a guy for an old PED test? What? That's like somebody at your job coming up to you like, hey man, you failed a drug test 5 years ago. You're gonna be like, man, I don't even know what I ate 5 years ago. Talking about I failed a drug test for 5 years ago. That's either somebody been hiding it. You can't just overlook something like that. Then what you doing? Going back and getting some urine from 5 years ago or some blood from 5 years ago? That don't make any sense. So somebody's hiding something for somebody. So a lot of these boxers who getting out of the game, this is the reason why. These dudes been getting oh, you said the sound? Hey, hold on. Let me see. Hopefully it work a little better. You might have to go back like a minute or 30 seconds. Yeah, sometimes man, YouTube be tripping, bro. I thought it was me, but I figured out recently it ain't me. I might come back. I'm gonna come back on StreamYard later on anyways. And do it for a little bit on there. But yeah, man, oh, he said to keep buffering. See, it should be. Yeah, that's why I don't know why it's tripping like that. I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on. Sometimes they be doing that though. When I talk about stuff like this, you get the buffering, bro. I'm gonna be 1,000 with you. Cause it's all good right now. Yeah, I used to think it was me, but nah, this ain't me. Yeah, it don't happen. It don't usually happen till I do lives like this. If I'm like doing the fight or whatever, but like when topics like this come up, oh yeah. So anytime you see a topic like this, just go back a minute or something. Just go back a minute and you'll be all right then. You'll just be a minute behind, but it is what it is. But yeah, they be going crazy on me. Cause I be seeing the signal. I'm like, bro, how is that possible? With Laura, man, this goes to show right here. Yeah, they be doing that, Joseph. I used to think that was my computer, bro. Man, they be. Yeah, they be doing that on purpose sometimes. I noticed that because I don't be usually listen to the replays back, but I had listened to one on back. I was like, man, this stuff don't even be messing up like that. But yeah, they definitely be because earlier I, it's gonna be hard for you to really build up fighters right now. You know, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. You can't really do what you've been doing so far. You know, most of these guys at UFC that have a good fighter, he'll have like 9 losses. It's gonna be something like that going on now. You're gonna see guys with 9 losses that possibly gonna be in the championship fight. Like Steve Claggett, it's gonna be a lot more Steve Claggett's in boxing. Where you're gonna be like, man, that dude got 9 losses. Derek Chisora's, it's gonna be a lot more of those. Which is a good thing, you know, if you're a betting man, because those guys can win any night. So it's good for boxing, but it's the other stuff that guys like Chisora talk about, the drugs and you know the PEDs. That's the stuff that's a lot more serious right now. A guy like Chisora feels like he's been at a disadvantage because you know most of the guys be on peds. So when you see a guy with a whole bunch of losses, sometimes that's part of the reason why. So I think from this day forward, you're gonna see a different brand of boxing going on. It's gonna be a lot different, man. A lot different. I think the way that Tank fight went recently, that wasn't a good look as far as you know, showing Turkey out of sheet. We don't need him, and you know, some people saying that they don't need him or whatever. The people who was saying that last fight wasn't a good look to actually, you know, feel that type of way right now. A bad referee fight like that, and then also you got all these guys popping up with bans and they're getting banned for drugs, and then a lot of guys are getting caught taking stuff out there where turkeys at in this fighting event. So a lot of this stuff gonna be different in the next couple of years. I don't know what people want to see as far as boxing though. If the guys is actually getting top dollar that you know that people expect, but everybody else ain't getting paid like that. Everybody else got to get money fighting and sparring guys, and you know if you know anything about sparring, that's how most of these guys end up not being able to talk good. But the sparring is what causes that. And, you know, if you're making more money sparring than you are fighting, that's bad. And more guys make more money sparring than they do fighting. Because if you look at this list right here, when this guy made 2.5 thousand, 2.5K in a boxing match, he probably gets more than that to spar. So when everybody said, "Oh, Dana White, man, how you gonna pay these fighters?" The same way everybody else paying them. And Turkey Al Sheik kind of trusts his model a lot more because he's made more money with his model. A lot of these other guys, they can't put on big fights unless they have, you know, a certain amount of money or investors. Then the worst part about it is they're letting people talk bad about the talent, no matter how good the B-side fighter is. Some of these promotional companies will try to devalue. That's why these fights aren't that big anymore like they used to be. They devalue the B-side fighters all the time. They always devalue the B-side fighters. People told you how trash Terrence Crawford was. Then they sat around here talking about, man, why did it? And I think that's what boxing doesn't understand right now. Like, bro, you got guys fighting in main events that haven't proved themselves. Then you want the guy to get into the main event to prove himself. That's the opposite of that. That lets you know the sport isn't growing. That lets you know the sport isn't growing. We're still at the point right now. If you're not fighting Tank Davis, nobody's gonna know who you are. If you don't fight Canelo, nobody's gonna know who you are. You know, we kind of leaving that era of boxing right now. But people still want to be stuck in that era. Lamont Roach almost 30 years old. People talking about, oh, Lamont Roach, I didn't know he was that good. This is why I'm ready for this era of boxing to kind of change, because how do you not know Lamont Roach is that good? Dude almost 30 years old. He a champion. That's crazy to me. Once I seen prospects starting to get treated like superstars, I'm like, yeah, bro, it's time for somebody to step in, bro. It's getting ridiculous. That's why I said Turkey Al Sheik, all he did last year was have the fights that the promoters wanted to have with Fury and Usyk. They felt like that was the fight that made. Then he spent all that time with Daniel Dubois and tried to have Joshua fight Fury. That didn't happen. So at this point, Turkey Al Sheik, like, man, I'm moving on, man. Let me go ahead and just do business with Dana White. I knew when Dana White thought about going to boxing, I knew what time it was. Dana White's not gonna be in the same position as these other guys. He's not just a promoter. To be honest with you, I don't even know if he is a promoter at this point. I mean, the role he plays is much more than just a promoter. He got to pay both sides and everything. Every time. Yeah, after I seen Alex lose last week, I said, yep. This is what's gonna make boxing better. See, he don't care if a superstar lose. You heard the whole commentary. Y'all heard what the commentary was saying last week. I think Alex won the fight. Man, judges like, nah, he lost. They like, nah, he lost. That's when I knew then. I said, yep, Dana White showing everybody right now. He don't care if you're the biggest fighter on UFC, you will lose. If you deserve to lose, you'll lose. But yeah, if I'm Ryan Garcia right now, I'm definitely walking on eggshells, bro. One more slip up from him, he done. He got so many things going on. Some stuff the news ain't even reporting. That's why I'm kind of confused. I'm like, I've never seen nothing like this before. I know a lot of people are too young or closed minded to really think about the bigger picture behind all this. They just thinking about boxing. I'm not thinking about boxing. I'm thinking about how is Ryan Garcia able to get all these passes from certain things that's going on behind the scenes? And the man is he still has the best seat in the house. He's coming off a suspension, fighting in a main event fight in Times Square, New York. You gotta understand that. That's like having Josh Gordon, and well, that's not even having Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon was just, he was just smoking weed. That's kind of worse than Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon was just, in the NFL. I don't know what to compare it to, really. I've never seen nothing like this before in my life, to be honest with you. The precedent is sales, man. Like, it sells such a crazy precedent. Like, it's gonna be hard to tell kids like in the future, hey man, don't take these PEDs. PEDs gonna be normal after a while. It's gonna be normal. I mean, at this point, it has to be. The way you're saying okay on stuff, nah, he can't throw that right hand at all. Yeah, I was thinking about that too. He can't throw that right hand at all, bro. To be honest with you, I was thinking about that a couple of days ago, Joseph. I was like, bro, that's kind of, it's kind of weird that the left hook would even be that strong and the right hand is just. But I seen a guy he had hit one time. I think it was like 2018 when he had first got with Canelo. I seen a guy he had hit with the left hook. The dude looked up at him like, where you get all this power from? But to be real with you, I thought he was already on something 7 years ago. Dude was super skinny, then he got big all of a sudden. Come on, man. A lot of these guys be on something. Like this dude right here. How this guy was on something all these years and he just now gets suspended. So people gotta understand the stuff that Turkey's seeing right now. He like, oh, now I see why these fans on the line is complaining. See, when Turkey hear us complaining about PEDs and stuff, he don't know what's going on because he ain't in the sport like that. But when he see these guys popping for PEDs before fights come up, then he's seeing how some of these guys getting beat up so bad after a couple of fights. He's like, oh, nah, these dudes tripping. These dudes out here taking PEDs for real? He getting to see it up close. So he like, nah, we can't have that. So people have to realize if a guy steps in the ring right now, he's on PEDs and he's on Turkey Yellow Sheets fight card, it's gonna look bad. Yeah, he don't have that footwork. He ain't had no footwork against Tank. That he would have had if he would have had some footwork against Tank, he would have been all right. Yeah, that fight wasn't a blowout like everybody make it seem, Joseph. And you can kind of tell, too, that when he was hitting Haney, that wasn't no regular power shot. Because we've seen Ryan hit people a lot of times and people never said, oh man, he got all this power. That wasn't no regular shots, dog. And was still getting outboxed. Trust me. For him to put on performances like that the next 5 years, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And then one thing I have noticed about guys outside of Tank Davis, a lot of fighters that Ryan Garcia has fought, they really not the same type of fighter after he fight them anyways. So it's gonna be a long list of fighters that's gonna get in the ring, that's got in the ring with Ryan Garcia, that's gonna say, "Oh yeah, that power doesn't seem right." Cause that's why I made a video. That's why I made a video recently, Joseph, telling everybody Ryan Garcia got more power than Tank inside the ring and outside the ring. Since PEDs don't matter, okay, he got more power than Tank. So the only thing Tank did was brag. He basically promoted Ryan Garcia so good to the point where now Ryan Garcia look like he had more power than Tank in the ring. That's why I said, bro, he hurt his own legacy. He hurt his own legacy. Now you got people running around talking about Ryan Garcia knock out Roach in 6 rounds, and they actually believe it. They don't care that Tank Davis made Ryan Garcia quit. Who cares? They do not care that have you ever heard anybody even say that? Matter of fact, let me tell you how scary some of these guys is out here. Dudes is even scared to say that Tank made Ryan Garcia quit. But they sat out here and said Daniel Dubois quit against Usyk though. I wonder why. They was quick to say Daniel Dubois quit against Usyk. Matter of fact, Ryan Garcia quit against Tank in like March or something like that. And then Daniel Dubois, he had that situation with Usyk in like July, August or something like that. The same year. Yeah, they hate when I say stuff like that, but it is what it is. Hey, don't do it. I mean, if you make me out to be a liar, I would be happy about that. But when I noticed that, I'm like, oh, okay. Daniel Dubois is not even that big of a fighter. He didn't fight in front of 1.2 million people on pay-per-view. Ryan Garcia did, but for some reason, don't nobody. That's why I said these pay-per-view numbers, I don't know if they real like that. I don't know if they real. Because it sounds like more people seen Devin Haney lose to Ryan Garcia. I mean, not lose, but, no contest in that fight than they did Ryan Garcia losing to Tank. Because if 1.2 million people seen that fight, and they don't remember that he lost? I'm like, that's crazy to me. Kind of wild. So that kind of exposes a lot of this stuff these people be trying to push around in the boxing game. And it's not working, man, to be honest with you. Turkey Al-Sheikh and Dana White is everything I've been saying the last probably year and a half, year. It's all happening right now. All the stuff I said were, oh, this ain't gonna be happening too much longer, or boxing messing up and they need to change this and they need to do that. It's happening. You got guys getting caught with drug tests from 2 years ago. Bro, imagine if you was on a job right now and they said, hey man, you failed a drug test from 2 years ago. Bro, you would lose your mind. You would lose your mind. If somebody came to you right now and put your whole livelihood on the line for a drug test from 2 years ago, come on, man. So they know what time it is. So when some people be saying, oh man, these PEDs don't be mattering. Okay. Why every job and every every sport out here tests for drugs for some reason, but for some reason they don't matter when it comes to performance. But when it comes to a job, a 9 to 5, and any kind of sports, they tested for that. Why are they going back 2 years ago banning people? And this has happened a lot lately. That's what people don't realize. Your favorite fighter might end up on the news for taking PEDs in a minute. And that might be the end of his career. That's why you see a lot of guys, I'm gonna repeat, I ain't gonna say no names, but that's why you see a lot of guys saying that they're retiring from boxing right now. And people saying, with all that money on the table, why are you retiring? Because dudes been cheating and they don't want to get caught, bro. I've been trying to tell people that for a long time. It's a lot of guys that have been cheating. They don't want to get caught. It's been a lot of cheating going on. I mean, if you went from knocking people out to not knocking anybody out, you went from jumping around in 12th round like it's the first round. Now you can barely make it 12 rounds. I don't know how they don't know that dude ain't on the juice. You got guys that can't even go 12 rounds that was going 12 rounds like it was nothing. And this is where you come to find out that most of the world has not gotten into a fist fight before. So most people don't know how it feels to be tired during a fist fight. So they don't know that. Most people do not know how PEDs affect the body because people haven't worked out to that type of level. They don't understand how PEDs and stuff work, so they never been around bodybuilders and stuff. I've been around women bodybuilders that's bigger than most of these dudes out here. I've been around a female bodybuilder that was bigger than most of these guys out here. And she didn't get that way by just working out. We're talking about women that's bigger than men. Matter of fact, I was at an NFL workout with real NFL stars. And some of the women in there that was bodybuilders, and I don't even know if the woman was a bodybuilder. She was bigger than some of the NFL guys. But they'll sit up here and tell y'all, PEDs don't matter, man. Okay. Every time somebody gets suspended, just look the other way. We don't need y'all to discuss that no more. This is serious right now. This is another top boxer. This is a champion who's been in some of the biggest fights lately. This isn't a journeyman or average fighter who got caught. They're catching elite fighters right now who've been in championship fights. So when I say this is serious, this is as serious as it's ever been in boxing. Right now, boxing is as serious as it's ever been. When it comes to cracking down on PEDs, paying guys, activity, the refereeing, it's very serious right now. The rankings, mandatories, things are getting very serious right now. I'm telling you, Dana White did not step into boxing unless it was going to be a couple of changes. And he's seen the changes that he wanted to see. And he's like, okay, I'm good with that. The only thing I don't like about Dana White is that he said Ryan Garcia ain't passed he ain't failed no PEDs or whatever that was. First of all, that's none of his business. And second of all, that's what I don't like about what he said. So as far as what everybody else has a problem with him about, that's them. My problem with him is that PED talk he was talking about with Ryan Garcia. If he's going to bring that mentality in boxing, he's definitely not going to survive. What's going on, Native Wild Man? Because what Dana White sat up here and said, yeah, Ryan did. I don't think he cheated. And guess what? Guess what, Dana White? Everybody think you kicked your wife. Are they right? We seen you on video. So that's the last guy that need to be talking. I don't think Ryan Garcia cheated. If I was a boxer that fell for Ostarine in UFC, and Dana White said that, I would sue him tomorrow. This man sat up here and said, yeah, I don't think Ryan cheated, man. I don't think he did. Where is it at? Yeah, he said to me he didn't cheat. He told us if he had the right people around him, that wouldn't have happened. We were pretty confident it was a tainted supplement. It's not my fight. It's none of my business. You right. You right. You're right. It's none of your business. You're right. You say you didn't? Yeah, I figured it was, man. It feel like it ain't that type of day, man. I don't know why. Yeah, I can understand that. It ain't that type of day right now. Yeah, I can understand that. He said I didn't make it out. Yeah, I understand that. It was one of those days already. But man, it's so many moves going on right now in boxing. It's a lot of moves going on. But yeah, it's too windy, man. I can kind of tell it is, but it's not windy where I'm at. But after what Aaron said about that storm he's in, I was like, no, it's gonna be windy for tomorrow for me. I don't know why the last time it was windy. I got it the same time you did, but it's different this time. But we need this in boxing right now because it's a lot of guys that been getting over. See, the fans can't really see it on the surface because they're not really paying attention that much to every little move somebody makes. But it's a lot of people that been getting over. It's a lot of people that been getting over. When it comes to the money, I don't think guys been getting paid what they should have. Even Dana White said they've made billions of dollars off boxing. He said maybe even trillions. He said up until this point, I think they made trillions of dollars off boxing. Trillions of dollars off of just boxing. That is an insane number. When you think about it, that's an insane number. When you think about it, man, that's an insane number. But I don't know, man. Boxing has had fights where they've made the world stop. I couldn't even imagine what the gate was for that Pacquiao fight in Floyd. I haven't even looked it up. That Floyd versus Pacquiao gate. What was the gate for that? And to be honest with you, 72 million. You know what I'm saying? That's insane, man. 72 million. It's insane. If they were smart, they would have did that fight like 2 or 3 times. 72 million is insane, man. For a gate, just for people to come in, pay to come in and watch the fight, 72 million. I don't know if we had that type of hype around boxing. Once they seen that amount of money in boxing, these guys became so greedy. Because you know, a lot of people was saying, "Oh, they steal fights and stuff, bro." I don't know if anybody knows it, but they've been stealing. They've been stealing pay per view fights since like 1995. So for the past 30 years, they have been stealing pay per view fights. It's been going on for 30 years, man. Matter of fact, it was easier to steal fights in the 90s than it is now. And people were still paying. So when they always come up with that little fake fairy tale, like, oh, these guys aren't paying these days. It's too much for a fight. Bro, they were stealing fights 30 years ago. And they were still paying to watch the fight. If it's a good fight, somebody's gonna pay their money. People still look at money as an investment, no matter how you spending it. I mean, when you make a transaction, you investing into somebody. That's what people gotta understand. That's an investment. So when they don't see these fights happen the way they supposed to, they like, hey man, what's going on? That's why right now you see a lot of fights at a halt right now, because it's like, hey man, hold on, we're gonna figure out, maybe we should say this fight until Turkey Al-Sheikh get involved. Because all I see right now is a lot of people saving fights until they get with Turkey Al-Sheikh. That's why I wasn't making a big deal about certain fights last year not happening, besides the ones that should have been made. Now, Canelo and Benavidez, that was something that I felt like should have been made, because he was already dealing with PBC and boom, boom, boom. You don't want to kind of blow up the whole 168 division, which already happened. It's already been blown up. Don't even know who Caleb Plant gonna fight next. So it's already been blown up. That's why I was looking at certain things like that. But as far as what's going on now, I already knew that was gonna happen. I already knew it was gonna happen. Just like with Turkey Al-Sheikh, not Turkey, but Tiafimo saying recently who he was gonna fight and who he wasn't gonna fight and what was holding up the fights. I mean, he's up to fight now, right? Against Barbosa, so a lot of this stuff could have been happening already. I wouldn't just put it on the fighters. I wouldn't just put it on the fighters alone like it's their fault. Because from what I'm seeing, Turkey Al-Sheikh is like, nah, these promoters are in the way. Too much. I felt like they was doing too much when they told him to cut down the fights from 13 to 9 or something like that. Oh, it's too many fights. You need to cut it down from 13 fights to 8 or 9 fights. I'm like, how are you a boxing promoter and you want this guy to pay less fighters, or you want him to put on less fights? I mean, UFC put on 13 fights, 14, 15 fights on a Saturday. Same kind of fights. So if they can handle it, you'll think that, 4 or 5 promoters working with each other will be able to handle it, but they act like it's way too much. So, man, these dudes ain't trying to put on no big events, man. They complaining about events. They not even paying no more. That's crazy. You basically getting a blank check. This dude paying you whatever you want for your top fighters. And you gonna tell him to cut the fight card down? Man, mine's tripping. Yeah, yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. I definitely think it is. Yeah, I definitely think it is. I'm like, it is what it is, though. Yeah, they know what time it is. I was making a couple changes too. Yeah, I should be good a little bit now. But yeah, man, it's yeah, it been weird on here. That's why I'm gonna have to fix my thing like I was before. We don't know how good Lamont Roach is at rematches. They said that Roach already fought Tank before a couple of times and that he knows him, he's familiar with him. So that means the more they fight, according to what I'm hearing from everybody else, that means Lamont Roach is getting better the more they fight. So Tank Davis might want to rethink the rematch. I would like to see the rematch. You know, I wanted to see the fight the first time, but that's not the 135 guy that is on everybody's list for Tank to fight. You know, we had Keyshawn recently, a lot of other guys, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney a couple years ago, Tiafimo. So it's been plenty of names that's been thrown around with Tank, but Lamont Roach being the guy that was gonna get a rematch with him, that wasn't on everybody's mind as far as Lamont Roach fighting him. Twice, especially. When you got a guy like Lamont Roach fighting Tank twice, that just kind of lets you know that, you know, maybe Tank needs to kind of reevaluate the fighters he's fighting right now. Because I don't know if he's, to be honest with you, I feel like he ain't getting better. Oh, spicy? Oof. I just started to be able to eat spicy food recently. I just been able to eat those. I used to not like spicy food, but I'm good with it now. Yeah, it took me some time to get adjusted to spicy food. I'm good with it now though. Bruh, in a real 50-50 fight, that don't happen unless it's like heavyweight. Look at Beterbiev and Bivol. Ain't nobody touched the ground yet. And you got some people saying that they ain't fighting all the way hard. You know, they ain't going all out against each other. That's a real 50-50 fight. That's what happens. Look at Morrell and Benavidez. There wasn't no knockouts in that fight. The only reason you even seen the knockout, even seen a knockout against Wilder and Fury is because the way Wilder fights, you're gonna always get a knockout in certain fights. It's gonna end. That's how it's gonna end. That's the way he fights. He fights to the point where I'm gonna get knocked out or I'm gonna knock out the guy I'm in the ring with. But you didn't see Tank in the ring with Roach fighting like, oh, I'm either he gonna knock me out or I'm gonna knock him out. He wouldn't fight like that. Tank was getting on the bike a couple of times. He did not want to stand in front of Roach. As much as people don't want to admit it, Tank Davis was on his bike when he was fighting Roach. He was on the bike. He was standing in front of him, but he wasn't standing in front of him. Whatever they said Devin Haney was doing against Loma, that's what Tank Davis was getting. And a lot of people don't want to admit that, but we can talk about it. The same thing that Lomachenko was doing to Devin Haney, that's the same thing that Lamont Roach was doing to Tank. Matter of fact, Lamont Roach made the man touch the ground. So all these people that, oh man, well Loma, he beat Devin Haney. Okay. How you feel about the Lamont Roach and Tank fight? Oh, well, you know, I don't think that was a knockdown and Tank outboxed him. Oh, okay. All right. All right, end the story. We ain't got nothing else to talk about. He said, I did the one chip challenge. The chip was gross, the heat was good, but the taste got me. Yeah, that one chip. I seen one on, bro. I seen one chip challenge. It put somebody in the hospital. Was it? Is it the blue one? Hey, which one am I thinking about, Native Wildman? I'm thinking about the blue chip. I know they got a blue one that been destroying people. I don't think I seen the green one. I think I seen the blue one. That blue chip they got. And I know where they got the pepper from too, that blue pepper. No, that blue chip, I can't roll with that one. Yeah, I don't know. That one chip challenge ain't no joke, boy. Then when it hit your stomach, he said the taste was bad. He said the blue one. Damn. Damn. Oh, he took the blue one. Bro, you crazy. Bro, you better get you some milk, man. That man took the blue one. That's crazy. Hell no. Oh no. No, that's bad. I definitely wouldn't have did that. He did the one chip challenge. The blue chip. I don't know if I can do that right now. If I do that right now, it's gonna look like I got the flu. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely for some reason my nose start running after I have some spicy food like that. Yeah, that'll be insane. Yeah, people don't know it, man. Those spicy chips are spicy. He said the blue one. That's insane. But yeah, man, Tank Davis definitely needs this fight with Lamont Roach. He definitely needs this fight because a lot of his fans are asking for this fight. See, what a lot of people don't realize is Tank Davis hasn't really had much pressure on him to actually have a fight recently. And the Lamont Roach rematch is probably the only fight I've heard people actually request at a high level. Usually it's the other guys they blame for the fights not happening. They say, oh, well, Devin Haney, he ain't do enough or he ain't trying to fight. Then they say, Shakur Stevenson, he ducking, he ain't trying to fight. He ain't sent a contract. And then with Keyshawn, same thing. They say he ain't ready, he ain't good enough. But with Lamont Roach, he already got in there and showed that he good enough. So you can't use those excuses. So what they saying right now is, Tank, you got to go back in there and fight Lamont Roach. That's why Tank got on the internet last week talking about some, I'm going to make sure I get the rematch. And I'm like, why he explaining? He's explaining because the fans are sitting around him asking him to rematch Lamont Roach. And I don't think they changing their mind either. There's a lot of people still expecting him to rematch Lamont Roach. So if he says any other fight besides Lamont Roach, it's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna be mad. It's gonna be some people that they might be even mad if he fights Shakur Stevenson, which might sound weird, but it's not weird because it's a large section of fans that feel like that fight was so close. Some people feel like he lost, and they want a do-over. You know what I'm saying? People just prisoners of the moment. So the moment right now is Lamont Roach and Tank fight was close. People feel like it was a robbery. And they feel like he needs to go in there and prove that he can knock out Lamont Roach. Because, the things that I'm hearing right now isn't that the fight was close and Lamont Roach is good. They're saying everything that Tank didn't do. Y'all got to notice that a lot of people ain't giving Lamont Roach credit for just being an elite fighter who figured Tank Davis out. They like, oh, Tank wasn't focused, and next time he gonna do this, next time that. Bro, I've been watching boxing a long time. You telling me you was in a ring with somebody for 30 minutes And you talking about next time? 30 minutes? Y'all gotta realize a fight is not 5 minutes, 10 minutes. That's a 30-minute fight. And you talking about next time? Come on now. And I'm not talking about Tank. I'm just talking about the fans. They're talking about, oh, well, next time. Bro, it should have been last time. When you got Tank like that, when you got power like that, it should have been last time. Yeah, I like Tank too. And I said that too. I don't know too many people who don't like Tank. They just want the best out of Tank as far as his ability in fighting. But yeah, he got a gift for sure. He definitely got a gift. Because you can make a case that shoot, Canelo could have got a draw against Bivol. Even Bivol didn't think he was gonna win that fight. Not to say he thought he was gonna lose, he thought he was gonna get robbed. Go look at the reaction that Bivol had when he won that fight. He was more excited to beat Canelo than he was Bitter Bill. He knew for sure he was gonna lose that fight. He like, yeah, I lost that fight. Even though he won it, thought he was gonna rob him. So I for sure think Tank got a gift. For sure. Because if Tank really won the fight, yeah. Tank Davis, he could lose a fight and it ain't gonna make no difference. That's why I felt like them not giving Roach the fight, the win actually kind of hurt Tank because if Roach would have got the win at that time, then Tank come back and knock him out. I think there'll be a bigger story than what's going on now with the hair grease or whatever. I think it would have been. Tank Davis don't need to be a fighter who needs to be undefeated to be considered great. I think they're trying to push him into that category, but he don't need to be one of those fighters. I think the win-loss undefeated thing is overrated. The media makes more of a big deal of guys being undefeated than actually the fans do. Well, some of the fans. Because Lamont Roach had one loss, everybody thought that was like the end of the world. So I would say sometimes the fans do make a big deal out of guys having a loss. That's an example, Lamont Roach. But they put too much pressure on Tank trying to be undefeated and everything. Like, bro, who cares? We want to see him fight the best. That's it. Like the guy Alex Fileta for UFC last week. He lost. You ain't hear nobody say, man, I don't want to see him fight no more. Who cares? Sometimes in boxing, you gotta have a great fighter make you look even better. And that's what Lamont Roach did. He made Tank look bad, but a great fighter like Tank made him look better. And that helps the sport of boxing. Now you got people that want to see Lamont Roach fight a whole bunch of guys that they didn't want to see him fight a couple of weeks ago. I remember a couple of weeks ago, Lamont Roach said, I want to fight Shakur Stevenson. I was like, ooh, I'd love to see that fight. And nobody cared. But now that he had a close fight with Tank, now everybody want to see him fight different opponents. It's like having a girlfriend in the house or whatever, or a wife in the house, and you don't appreciate her until she go over there and talking to another dude. Then you like, man, I love her. Well, you should have been loving on her a couple of weeks ago then. Yeah, nobody needs to be undefeated to be great. I think Mayweather used it as a marketing tool more than anything, and it worked. But yeah, a lot of guys don't need to be undefeated to be great. They definitely don't. And it's hard to be undefeated these days when you got all this stuff going on. It's a lot of sneaky, underhand stuff going on. Referees, judges. Last week was a reason why a lot of people don't watch boxing. Look at Pacquiao. Pacquiao got flatlined plenty of times. And Dude is still an elite boxer. He's still fighting right now. And he can do whatever he wants. Man, Pacquiao can do whatever he wants in boxing right now. And this a dude who fought everybody. So that's why when I hear people say, oh, Canelo and Tank, they can do whatever they want. Bro, they don't got no resume like Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao just started doing whatever he wants. I'm pretty sure Jeff Horn wasn't on his list of fighters to go and fight. But he went and did it because, you know. But he's fought everybody. Everybody. But it's certain. But what Turkey Al-Sheikh is going to do, though, he's going to start highlighting a lot of fighters that, you know, that will fight anybody. I think Lamont Roach is a guy who will fight anybody. But he's going to start highlighting a lot more fighters like this. Instead of those guys having to fight Tank Davis or Canelo Alvarez, they can go ahead and just fight somebody else and build their own name. But I think too many times in boxing right now, we have to put a certain boxer in the ring with Tank for him to get a big name. That's what I don't like about things that's going on right now. Like, can we put Tank in the ring with somebody that guys know before he fights them? Because most of the people he's fighting, nobody knows about. Yeah, he did. He did. He helped put Tim Bradley on the map too. A lot of people knew who Tim Bradley was, but as far as the people who didn't watch boxing every day, because he started getting all kind of death threats and everything after that. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people didn't know who Tim Bradley was. Dude started getting death threats and everything. That was a big deal when he beat Pacquiao. It was more negative. It was like somebody died or something. You would thought they was having a funeral or something that day. Tim Bradley beat Pacquiao. Man, they was so mad at Tim Bradley. They was like, "Get this guy up out of here." But yeah, if I'm Tank though, man, gotta rematch this guy. Gotta rematch him. It's a lot of people that feel like he lost that fight. I went back and seen a couple of other things. Man, it's a lot of people that feel like he lost that fight, man. No matter what the internet says, a lot of people feel like he lost. I think they're trying to wait and see what goes on, but he gonna end up rematching Roach. He got to. I knew that the day after he well, not the day after he fought, but a couple of days after he fought Lamont Roach. I knew he got to fight Roach again. Everybody who really tunes in to watch Tank when he does fight, yeah, they don't feel like he won the fight, man. You got certain people that just a fan of him because they fans of him. That's cool, but once you start to get a boxer that people don't really care about, if he robbing somebody in the fight or not, as long as he win, that's crazy. That makes people not want to watch it, to be honest with you. Because even in the rematch, like I said, Lamont Roach going into the rematch, he gonna have to knock out Tank Davis. He gonna have to knock out Tank. If Tank go in that box the same way he did this time, or all he gotta do is do a little bit more, he ain't gotta really knock out Roach. All he gotta do is do a little bit more. He gonna end up getting the win. So it's gonna be dangerous for Roach going into the rematch because you know you're gonna have a guy going in there trying to knock you out, which tried to happen last time, but it didn't. And then you also are gonna have some issues as far as the scoring. Because whether he had a knee, the knockdown, the knee, or whatever they was talking about, The scoring in that next fight is gonna be probably even worse. So not to be negative or anything, but they gonna put Roach in a position where he got to get a knockout. And that's crazy that he got to get a knockout though. Yeah, he's gonna have to get a knockout. If not, they're not gonna let him win that fight on points. But this is one reason why Turkey Al-Sheikh is gonna have fun with this, man. He gonna have fun with it. Because a lot of guys, they gonna talk crap about him, take shots at him and everything else. And he's a pretty smart person from what I've seen. You know, guys take shots at him or whatever. Talk bad about him. Because he knows everybody who said something about him. That's why certain guys scared to go over there because they like, man, I've been talking trash about Turkey Al-Sheikh. If I go over there and lose, you know, it's just too much risk. If I go over there, I might lose to somebody. And I haven't been discussing Tank lately because, you know, I haven't really been discussing Tank lately because I feel like it's a waste of time at this point. No disrespect to anybody who wants to hear about Tank, but after last week, I felt like, to be honest with you, I just feel like talking about Tank is a waste of time at this point, especially if you're a boxing channel. These people don't know, bro. After last week, bro, I've already seen it, bro. It's after last week I seen it, bro. I don't like people. I don't like you know that one person that always be playing with you, smack you upside the head, play with you and stuff. Then you smack them upside the head, playing with them. Then they get all serious. This is what this is right now, as far as with Tank. People been smacking all these boxers upside the head, laughing at them. Then when it's his turn, everybody want to get all sensitive. Man, this ain't the boxer to discuss in 2025. No disrespect to him. I'm just saying, as far as the people that like discussing him, they don't like keeping it real on Tank. So I think talking about him is a waste of time, bro. Like I said, at this point in time, I don't know about everybody else, but I would say starting in a couple of weeks, I'd rather just talk about other fighters like Devin Haney or somebody than Tank Davis. To be honest with you. After what I seen last 2 weeks, yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm super good. The boxing I've seen lately, I'm super good. Super good. I'm talking about all the way. It ain't nobody ready to hold this dude accountable like he the face of boxing, man. Everybody's ready to blame Floyd. Oh, well, Floyd, he was the reason was the reason he ain't take this fight. He gonna start fighting real fights now that Floyd ain't around. So y'all just admitting this dude ain't fighting real fights? What are you talking about? How he gonna just start fighting real fights when Floyd ain't around? What? Then he fight Roach and get exposed. To be honest with you, you got exposed, dog. If Devin Haney got exposed, if y'all tell me that Devin Haney got exposed against Linares, he got exposed against Loma, Tank definitely got exposed against Lamont Roach. And the fact that people not even talking about this like that, they just sitting back, oh, well, y'all just want Tank to lose, man. Y'all hating on Tank, bro. It's a waste of time talking about Tank, bro. It's time to find somebody else. Oh, yeah. No. We talking about that. Yeah, I know. Now, I was just thinking about this later while, man. I was just thinking about what I was recently as far as that fight. That was like something you would like how long that fight was? A week ago? 2 weeks ago? That fight was 2 weeks ago, right? Yeah, you right about that. Native Wild Man. I was actually supposed to post something about that. Yeah, they supposed to rematch them here. But that fight was 2 weeks ago. So this has to be the fastest rematch I've ever seen put together. That's one thing. That fight was 2 weeks ago. And these people they ain't talking about this fight at all no more. They talked about Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia longer than they talked about Tank versus Lamont Roach. How was Tank Davis considered the face of boxing? And 2 weeks after he fights, ain't nobody talking about him no more. That don't make any sense. That's why I told people, it's different when you actually cover boxing every day and you see what people gravitate to and what they don't. People want to hear about Tank, but when it's only when Tank is talking about somebody. Or when Tank has something going on of his own, he has his own trouble going on or his own things going on where it's just Tank Davis. People don't really want to hear about that. They want to hear about what Tank commentating on. Oh, what's Tank's thoughts about this fighter? Oh, what's his thoughts about this? This man called Sabril Matias the boogeyman last year. And the man lost to Liam Paro after that. He said Eastside Cruz was his toughest fight last year. Then after the Ryan Garcia Haney fight, he said Ryan Garcia was his toughest fight. These people have no integrity in boxing, bro. I've sat back a whole week and actually been looking for good boxing content to look at. And no disrespect, I found some, but I'm just saying, it ain't a lot of good content out here for boxing. It's really not. Everybody ain't telling the truth no more in boxing. Boxing is getting boring, man. Any sport where you have to lie about stuff to make a guy look good is boring, bro. It's becoming, it ain't good, man. And what people don't realize is 2 of his last 3 fights people have been complaining about. They complained about the Ryan Garcia fight, how the fight wasn't good because Ryan didn't even perform well. He didn't hold his end of the bargain. And then the Frank Martin fight, Tank got a knockout, but I didn't feel like he boxed well in that fight. And then this Lamont Roach fight. He hasn't looked good in his last couple of fights, man, to be honest with you. Besides the knockouts, the man hasn't been boxing well. So what? He's fighting strictly off talent now. He's going in there and competing with a 130. And now it seems as if people just like, oh, okay, well, everything he said was true. No, everything he said was not true. Everything Tank said was not true. Definitely not. The stuff he said about these other fighters, he needs to get in the ring with them ASAP. At this time right now, he just reminds me of a guy who talks all the time and doesn't do anything. Because none of the people he talks about, he's gotten in the ring with yet. The Ryan Garcia thing, okay, that's cool. What else? I think Ryan Garcia is 26, 27 now? Fought the man about 2 years ago. So everybody sees now. A lot of people feel like Ryan Garcia got more power than Tank. So now people giving him the excuse of being weight drained when he fought Tank. So it's a lot of reaching going on. I've already seen that people don't want to give Tank his credit. And most people feel like, well, you know, guys as fans of Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney and Keyshawn and everybody's hating on Tank and they don't want to give him his credit. Bro, we just gave Tank credit for fighting the 130 and he had a close fight with him. And then people not even trolling him like that. So when people sit up here and say people hate Tank and stuff, like, bro, get out of here. Y'all are out of your mind. He's the most protected fighter in all of boxing. If 2 weeks ago didn't prove it to you, I don't know what to tell you. I'm going soft on Tank right now. Pause, but I am. Ain't nobody, we giving him a pass right now. He getting a pass right now. He getting a pass right now. The biggest pass you ever seen in boxing is what you just seen a couple of weeks ago. That's why I was laughing when people said, man, the referee trying to save Devin Haney against Ryan Garcia. I've never heard anybody say a referee was trying to save somebody in a boxing match. Never heard that before. So when they said that, I'm like, referee is trying to save Haney because he's holding on to Ryan after Ryan just hit him with some illegal punches that should have been led to a disqualification because the dude was on PEDs the whole time. Dude was on PEDs the whole time anyway. Don't wonder Devin Haney was looking like that. You ever heard not one person say, man, I never seen Haney look like that. Maybe the PEDs was the reason why. They're like, the referee tried to save him. He lost the Loma. And I just love bringing those examples up because it's the most extreme stuff I've ever heard in my life and super biased. Then the man has a draw with Lamont Roach and people just like, oh, well, I believe in the next fight he gonna knock him out. Get out of here. Yeah, Rocky Marciano. Yeah, it's different now though. I would say the reason why it's a little different in the Rocky Marciano days is because these guys are a lot more. They're fighting each other a lot more in this era, and they have no excuses. And also, I don't think Rocky Marciano was just running around, you know, going off on people. You know, everybody these days feel like they gotta do what Muhammad Ali did to sell tickets. And it's just not working. That's really one thing I've noticed. It's a lot of people that feel like they gotta do the Muhammad Ali thing, try to sell tickets. And it just backfires a lot of time. But when you come out and call a guy trash or whatever, and you're a boxer, you gotta just know that never happens. You know, that's never happened before. A few fights he lost. Yeah, absolutely. I know. Yeah, I know what you mean by that, Nathan Wild, man. I mean, possibly. I heard he fought the same guy twice with a different name. I've heard some different things like that. You know, I wasn't around back then, so that's why usually I'll like kind of say certain things, but if I don't have direct knowledge of certain things like that, I can't really speak on that, man. He's obviously not alive right now. But yeah, they definitely that's why I said these days these guys don't have those excuses as far as not fighting each other. But yeah, they have said that before. They said that about Devin Haney. He lost a fight in Mexico or something like that. I'm like, a fight in Mexico? Bro, come on, man. And this is not even just me playing sides or nothing. This is just stuff I never heard before. Anytime I hear things in boxing I never heard before, that's a red flag, bro. It's just like I gotta sit back and be like, hold on, man, what's really going on? Like, what is really going on? Like, really? Because as far as I've known, okay, I'm gonna just throw this out there. So Canelo fought Triple G, right? He failed the drug test, fought Triple G twice. People always give Triple G excuses for fighting Canelo under those conditions. If you have noticed over the years. But like for some reason, when other guys do it, it's like that's why it ain't no telling what Rocky Marciano had going on back then. I can't really it's gonna be like, I've heard some things as far as man, I heard he fought the same guy twice. I heard he fought his brother. I heard they put his brother on the resume under a different name or something. I heard all kind of stuff, man. Yeah, I've heard some crazy things about him. But yeah, if you look at his resume, he's fought some guys, but the time he fought Joe Louis was insane though. That Joe Louis win was definitely that Joe Louis win though he got. Joe Louis was an old man by then, bro. That Joe Louis win was crazy. Joe Louis was an old man by then. But that's the one they gave it to him though. You said I didn't handle 15 round fights. It wasn't making 15 rounds. It wasn't making 15 rounds. Most fights wouldn't. They should. I think during undisputed fights they should do 15 rounds for an undisputed fight, but I don't think a lot of guys will handle it. And I don't know if the way boxing is right now with all this cheating that goes on behind the scenes, they couldn't even do 15 rounds. I know Turkey Al-Sheikh said he wouldn't do it, but they couldn't even do it because guys is cutting corners too much. It's too many guys cutting corners. Too many guys cutting corners, man. That's why when people shoot, man. I'm telling you, if Ryan Garcia would have ended up injuring a guy in the ring, taking his life or something like that in the ring, with him on the PEDs the way he was, he wouldn't even be boxing right now. So I don't even think these people are ready for 15 round fights. No way. We still gotta figure out who the clean fighters is in boxing right now. I thought they would be ready, but I had to think about it. They're not ready for 15 round fights. I'm so disappointed in boxing after last week. I mean, after 2 weeks ago, with that knockdown situation. To be honest with you, I don't know what direction they're ready to go to. I don't know if boxing can handle anything as far as right now. I don't think they can handle anything as far as 15 rounds, AI judging. I don't think they can handle anything right now. It's like the better everything gets, every time they get what they want, it's something else. They said that they needed the money for the big fights. They got this. Now they want to fight certain fights and certain mandatory, so it's all weird. Yeah, I can't believe Joe lasted that long. He was. Yeah, Joe was I can't believe Joe fought him that age though. That's the crazy part about it, cause Joe was fighting in the 1930s. He didn't fight Rocky Marciano until the 50s. That's like a guy. That's like a guy who's fighting in 2000s, fighting right now in 2025. That's insane. That's like Antonio Tarver fighting right now. Yeah, but boxing's been running with that model for years now, almost decades. Uh, let's catch a guy when he gets old and whatever. It's kind of like that with Bitterbeer right now, but I'm not gonna throw that on Bivol because Bitterbeer been knocking everybody out, and Bivol, he's been fighting everybody as well. But they've been aging guys out still. A couple of people try to do that with Lomachenko. They tried to do that with Terrence Crawford, Usyk. It's been guys getting aged out. Wilder got aged out. It's been a lot of people doing that over the years in boxing. That's why we're not trying to have a Rocky Marciano versus Joe Louis type of situation no more. And this is wild. People don't realize it, but Lamont Roach is like one of the first fighters Tank fought in his prime. Lamont Roach is in his prime right now. Bro, I just looked that up. Somebody said something about Cherry about Cherry. I gotta write that down. Somebody just said something about Cherry Run. Dang, that's the one I was looking at recently. I haven't tried it yet. I gotta say that in my phone. Hold on. Yeah, I was just thinking about Cherry Run the other day. Somebody said that was good. From Flight. Yeah, I gotta check that out. I gotta get me some. Yeah, they've been having some fire lately. Ain't Cherry Runs. Definitely gotta try that. Nah, Ali should have took them last two fights. Ali was, man, he was trying to get that last little bit of money. He should have stayed away from those fights. Yeah, Ali should have definitely stayed away from those fights. That Larry Holmes fight, man. The fact that Ali was still fighting in the 80s, man. This dude fought from 1960 all the way to the 80s. He was already fighting in the 50s as an amateur. But if you fight in the 80s, though, Ali should have been done in 70, early 70s. He should have been done. Really, after the Jerry Quarry fight, he should have been done. I know he fought Floyd Patterson, whatever, but After the Jerry Corey fight, he should have been done. Cause that was Floyd Patterson last fight was against Ali. That's when they start trying to make those mega fights happen with certain guys, but and Floyd Patterson was still a smaller guy. Then he went and fought Ken Norton twice. That's why he the greatest though, man. Oh, that's why he the greatest. That's why he the greatest, man. I always try to get his lick back too. If he took a loss, went back and got another one. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I did try. I tried those. Yeah, they was on point. Yeah, I tried some recently. He said Larry Holmes. Yeah, he did. Yeah, Larry Holmes, he was too strong at that point, man. That's why dudes wasn't even trying to fight Larry Holmes around that time. In the 80s, man, them dudes weren't trying to fight no Larry Holmes. And that was a 15 round fight that Ali was in, man. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Like these dudes, a 15 round fight with Larry Holmes. Ali was doing 15 round fights from the 70s all the way to the 80s. 15 round fights. Yeah, it was a masterpiece against George Foreman. That was. That was. And that was a 15 round fight too. George Foreman was gonna get him up out of there. He had to stop George Foreman. Yeah, man. 15 round fights these dudes was doing. 15 rounds against Ernie Shavers. Like, bro, come on, man. Then you got good. You got that why. That's why when Floyd was like, "I'm better than Ali," bro. 15 round fight, bro. Look who Ali was fighting. Nah, man. Come on. Then he went the distance in his last fight. Ali went the distance in the last fight. Yeah, man. These dudes be sleeping on Ali, man. These guys would never fight in a 15 round fight. And he did it as an older man. After sitting out all that time, he came back and was taking 15 round fights. Out of boxing for 3 years. Came back and had 15 round fights with the hardest punchers. Joe Frazier. You got Ken Norton out there. Then you have Ernie Shavers, Leon Spinks, Larry Holmes, who was undefeated. Yeah, yeah, 15 round fight, man. Larry Holmes was against an undefeated Larry Holmes. Yeah, Ali fights anybody though, man. That's why he was the greatest. Dude fought everybody. That's why that era of boxing will always be the best. Oh, mine is that 10 round. The last fight was a 10-round fight. Yeah, the last one was a 10-round fight. And he was fighting other young dudes, man. And he was fighting nothing but young guys. They don't appreciate great boxing no more. It's sad I gotta say it like that, but it's the truth. They don't appreciate good boxing no more. Oh no, no, you good. They do not appreciate good boxing no more, man. Let me see what kind of news they got coming out right now. Let's see. got any they got no boxing news on right now? Let's see. Yeah, that's why the heavyweight division is starting to look like it used to a little bit because guys are starting to fight a little bit more now. But yeah, Ali was fighting everybody. Um, without fighting your offenses. The dudes that media and broadcasters can't even share their thoughts and make predictions anymore without fighters getting overly offended or sensitive. Yeah, that is true. That is true. But the media has been disrespectful though over the years. When it comes to making predictions and man, media have been running guys in the ground lately. I can't remember the last fighter that they actually was bragging about recently. Oh, Garcia said the lawsuit against him has no merit. Well, his attorney said that. They put Jota Nakatani over Tank on pound for pound list. Hold on, what? That's crazy. So they don't put Haney on any of these lists as far as pound for pound. You got Teddy Atlas. He put Lomachenko number 7. That dude's a nut hugger. Certified nut hugger. Somebody got Janovic number 10. Man, these dudes don't know boxing, man. Are these people that cut? These are writers for who? What are these writers for? The ESPN writers? Man, these dudes got anyway number 2, bro. These dudes don't know no boxing, man. Yeah, yeah, Mike. Yeah, they try to talk. Yeah, I know. That's why I give Mike credit. You know, Mike was. You know, Mike did his thing, man. Mike wasn't. He wasn't trash. He was just undersized, to be honest with you. Mike was really undersized. Yeah, these pound for pound lists is a waste of time these days. Who cares? To be honest with you, fight. These pound for pound lists a waste of time. They just starting to put Benavidez on there. Man, who cares about pound for pound? Yeah, ain't too much news coming out right now in boxing. Yeah, there's not too much news in boxing coming out. I thought it would be. But man, what I'm seeing is insane. That boy Bill Haney got a real post up there. That's funny. That's real though. He's saying some real stuff. Yeah, I ain't. I don't really see much news coming out right now. I'm just looking for some things. He said Andrew Gallardo was a Andrew Gallardo, yeah. Hey, Andrew Gallardo was he was jumping in the mix though. He was though. Andrew was getting in the mix, man. Andrew Gallardo, man, that dude was in the mix, man. That was a good era. That was a good era of boxing, though. That was a good era, man. That's why a lot of these guys do want to get paid, though. He said it was a little hooker for Riddick Bowe. That's funny. Hey, 2 fights in a row too. Hey, later Wild man, he did it 2 fights in a row. 2 fights in a row. He tried to get up out of those fights. So you wanted to get out of there, man. He didn't do that against Mike though. He would have got his ears bit off. Mike ended up stopping Galata, got a no contest for some weed in Detroit. They didn't hit him with the see, Detroit was tripping on Mike Tyson the same way they tripped on Carissa Shields. He probably thought he was gonna get stopped. He probably thought he was gonna get stopped and looking for a way out. Cause he was towards the end, but he had too many rounds left. He had too many rounds left though. I can't believe they took that Mike Tyson win away for some weed. Boxing, I don't know what it is. Michigan strict about that weed. They just, for some reason, weed legal up there, but they tripping. They tripping over a little flower. Yeah, once Mike started fighting guys like John Ruiz, Chris Bird, Layman Brewster, it was over with. Once Mike got to the 2000s, it was a wrap. In my mind, I felt like it was. He wasn't active like that. He was still taking off 3 years. Yeah, he wasn't active like that. He had that whole Don King situation going on. These people tripping over a little flower. Yeah, they put Mike out the game for a while over that. But I definitely would have liked to see him and Andrew Galata get in the ring again. And that's what guys was really fighting too. I wish I would have seen that last fight Galata had though in 2013. That's why I'm glad that boxing kind of changed a little bit because it's a lot of fights you couldn't see live probably 10 years ago that you'll be able to see on the zone now. Like that fight between William Skull and Shishkin, Vladimir Shishkin. That fight was almost going to be not televised until the zone stepped in. So the zone is having some good things happen right now. I'm supposed to be talking about Berlanga fight tomorrow, but I got some stories to put out right now. I knew Eddie Hearn was saying that. Eddie Hearn, hey, that's smart though. Whoa, it's a lot of stuff going on right now. So Berlanga, oh, that's why he didn't sign the extension. He should have signed one. I don't know. That don't make any sense. Yeah, AI is tripping these days. Should have signed one. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's crazy. The government is tripping, bro. And you know, Native Wild Man like we do. That's our We've been using that flour for centuries. I know, they don't even know it, but that flour comes from Native Americans, mostly, especially in this land. Well, nobody and people don't. Hey, I have proof behind that too. But marijuana was something that Native Americans used to grow. They might not understand that, but it is what it is. But Edgar Berlanga, the reason why he fighting on the co-main event like he is right now is because he didn't sign an extension with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom after the Canelo Alvarez fight. So my thing is this right here. And that, it makes good business sense if you Edgar Berlanga, you want to see what's on the table. But bro, if you're with Eddie Hearn and he just got you basically more money than Munguia got fighting Canelo, why would you not sign a extension with him? That doesn't make any sense. I don't think that's a good decision. I think you should have went ahead and just signed the extension with Eddie Hearn. Cause, I might not think Eddie Hearn's the perfect promoter, but when he gets you over there, he tends to make sure that you're taken care of in a lot of different ways. More than you'll realize. Especially if you look at Anthony Joshua's career. He's been taken care of and he's always been put in positions where he's not forgotten. So you would definitely want to does Eddie Hearn take care of every fighter the best way possible? I mean, in his situation, but in other people's eyes, probably not. But as far as Berlanga, bro, you have to sign with this guy again. I mean, there's no reason not to be honest with you. And look at the names he's trying to include you with. For him not to be looking at those things as far as benefiting his career. I mean, dude, you wasn't even. I don't even know if Canelo was even looking at Berlanga as a fight. And the way it worked out for all sides because Berlanga got a bigger name. His performance was, liked by a lot of people. And he's a lot more known now. He got paid a boatload of money. And he's been put in a position where he can fight in the same kind of situation that he fought last time. But he's on the co-main event though, which is a huge difference. It's not really a good look, but business is business. Eddie Hearn is not going to sit up here and, like he said, the reason this fight happened is because it was written in this contract in the Canelo fight. Absolutely, I'm not going to put a load more money into a show when it's the last fight of a deal. He doesn't understand the business. That's the reality. And, he's done that plenty of times with other guys as well. He feels like, just strictly business down the middle. If he's going to do things with you or not, as far as in the future. But the one thing that Eddie Hearn has to understand is there's going to be other guys that's going to be reaching out to these fighters as well. He's not the end all be all like he's feel like he has been in the past. And he has been doing some good shows, especially over here in in America. He has been doing some good shows over here, some good fights. But a lot of these guys have a lot more options now. It's not like how it used to be. That's why Al Heyman is basically looking like he's going to be moving out of boxing because these guys got a lot of options now. It's not just like, oh, well, you can go over there, but it's not going to be the same for you as it would be over here. It might be better over there. You know what I'm saying? It might be better for guys to move on. So that's why a lot of these guys don't realize it, but this is not like how it used to be. There's a lot of changes going on right now, especially in boxing. They don't figure that out soon. I don't know. It's for the promoters and for the fighters. Because Berlanga right now, he's in a position where, hey, maybe he can go to Golden Boy or Riyadh season and Turkey Al Sheikh strictly just with him or something. Or Dana White or who knows. Who knows? But he's basically gonna be looked at. Somebody's gonna try to sign him. If he's with Matchroom or not. Somebody will try to sign him. But I definitely feel, yeah, if Eddie Hearn feels like he's done all that for Berlanga and he's not re-signing after all that, getting the Canelo fight, yeah, I would stop spending my money as well because I'm like, hold on, we ain't re-signing after the Canelo fight? What? Come on now. You know, most people would have said, hey, why we not re-signing before the Canelo fight? See, he was actually being nice because most people would have said, hey man, I'm not re-signing with you. I mean, I'm not doing this thing and re-signing with you unless you get a fight with Eddie Hearn should have had him sign before the Canelo fight. That's all I'm saying. That would have worked out perfect. That's the best way to do things, but I don't know, man. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. Hopefully Berlanga know what's going on, man, because he can't go back to top rank. I don't know if you want to do that. Because the way he left top rank, it looked like he got kicked out of there. I don't know if he just left. If he left top rank, then that's going to be worse. I think he should just, yeah, for food, rope, infusions, and smoke. Yeah, exactly. For medicinal purposes. Absolutely. That's how some people hold their food down and stuff. Uh, like Native Wild Man was talking about. Yeah, they don't understand that, man. They be overlooking a lot of that stuff. But yeah, Berlanga got to figure something out soon, man. He fights tomorrow too. The guy he fighting is, bro. He lucky Eddie Hearn ain't putting no guy in there that can go in there and just knock him out. He fights somebody to keep him, a tune up or something. Oh yeah, I forgot Eric Bazian and Steve Butler fight tonight. Man, I might watch that. Oh, John Robio fight right now. And Wilkins Matthew. Dang, they all fighting right now. I knew it was a fight coming on. Yeah, that fight on right now. Let me see how far into this fight they actually are. They got Eric Bazian and Steve Butler. Bazian, he was putting some hands on my gear when he fought him. Maybe the fight hasn't started yet, but it looks like it started already. Yeah, I think this fight has already started. I guess it's what most people are watching right now. Oh, it's posted on? Hold on. Hold on, let me see this fight. Because I haven't heard anything about this fight today. Oh, it got postponed, I guess. Let's see. Oh, okay, the fight got postponed. I didn't know what was going on. Oh, okay. So the fight was postponed. All right, it's not coming on tonight. Oh, Tommy the Hitman. Yeah, Tommy the Hitman Hearns was a beast, man. I don't know who you can compare to the Hitman these days. You really can't compare nobody. Nah, you can't compare nobody to the Hitman Hearns. Yeah, Hitman Hearns was a beast, man. Stayed fighting out of Detroit, man. That's when Detroit boxing was really rocking. Yeah, Hitman Hearns is super underrated. Fighting them, he was in them 15 round fights too. He only fought like not as many as other guys was. Early '80s, but those guys who fought those 15 round fights, man, they should definitely be getting paid, man. A lot more than these guys getting paid now. That's facts. Is that some real? Oh, so Carissa Shields said she's not suspended. People are quiet about it. Oh, I knew that was gonna happen. I knew that was gonna happen. Caleb Platt making fun of Edgar Berlanga's opponent. Hey, that's insane, man. This Berlanga opponent for tomorrow. Look what Caleb Platt said. At least he made weight. You can compare Usyk to Holyfield. Usyk, yeah, Usyk, you can, but Holyfield said he's better. Usyk said he's not better, so yeah, it's kind of hard to really say. If I was to be, I don't know. I've seen Holyfield was just a monster, man. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to compare Holyfield to anybody. Holyfield was such a monster. Holyfield was a monster. Hey, they talking about you think I wanted it? Yeah, I'm just looking at some stuff. He eat number junk food. That's crazy. Hey, Caleb Plant trolling Edgar Berlanga. He need to go ahead and get that fight next. That's funny. Bro, look huge. Yeah, I'm just looking through some things, man. My bad. He said it's the end. It's not. It's the end of the world as we know it. If feel fine. Yeah, you're right. Oh man, hold on. We got some back and forth going on. Oh, we got some back and forth going on. Yeah, there we go. Let me go ahead and say this real quick. He called that man a hoe. That's crazy. I swear, some of these guys be on Twitter, bro, just talking crazy. Yeah, boxers on Twitter, man. That just yeah, that was crazy. That boy Devin Haney went at Gabe Rosado. I see why he went at him though. Oh, okay. Carlos Damas said he ain't moving up to the other weight class till he take the other belts. See, I'm just looking at this stuff, man. I'm just going through. He said rim song stuck in my head. If Golden Boy, Matchroom, and Top Rank don't let their fighters fight for Turkey, what can he do? You said if Golden Boy, Matchroom, and Top Rank fighters don't let them fight, what can they do? I mean, that's the problem with boxing. if what's up? Vic G said if Golden Boy, Matchroom, and Top Rank don't let their fighters fight for Top Turkey, what can he do? That's been the problem so far, Vic. I mean, these guys haven't been fighting. I mean, it's Turkey Al Sheik is not gonna care if a couple of boxers sit up here and say or Dana White. They don't care if these guys sit up here and say, "Hey man, we're not gonna let you give us money." Like you don't want turning down money. Turkey Al Sheik ain't forcing Top Rank and Golden Boy and all these guys to work with him. They don't have the money to operate. I mean, if they do, then prove it. They've been building up fights for the last 10 years. The only thing I've seen Golden Boy do is cash in on fighting American fighters. Outside of that, the other fighters they have. And Ryan Garcia, that's about it. As far as cashed in on Ryan. Everybody else, they just now got Virgil Ortiz rolling. And that's with Turkey. So he needs Turkey as far as the situation he's in right now and beyond to get the fights that he needs. And I think Ryan Garcia needs Turkey as well because he could have worked with Rolly Romero last year when Rolly called him out before he fought with what's his name? Devin Haney. But he didn't have the money. Matchroom. I mean, nobody's gonna be mad at Matchrooms and blocking people. They already didn't put the Wilder and Joshua fight together, so in that situation, who cares? Top Rank. They haven't had a big fight over there since Haney and Lomachenko. I know the Keyshawn fights have been big, but it's Haney and Lomachenko. I'm gonna just say that. Haney and Lomachenko was on pay-per-view. So they haven't done much since then, so I think it's enough boxers in the world right now what Turkey doesn't need to do that. And he's already had the big fights happen already, so after they basically made the big fights, there's nothing else that these guys can do, really. But yeah, no boxer is in a position to call any kind of shots, though. I think people, and I ain't trying to be disrespectful to boxers, but bro, you're not in a position to call any shots, bro. I mean, it's the most money. I mean, the money man is basically running around now, and you know, and it's funny because Money Man actually wears a turban like Turkey Al Sheik do. But as soon as the Money Man gets in boxing now, all of a sudden people like, oh, I don't want to work with this guy. Okay, don't do it. Let your resume stay the way it is. Cause all I know is Canelo's doing it. I know that Canelo's doing it. He's over there working with Turkey. So anybody that sees Canelo working with these people, that's funny. Oh, he got a good list right here. I'm glad Bill Haney put it up. Thanks, Bill. He forgot Zab Judah, but this is funny. This is a good picture right here. Let me pull this up. Oh yeah, I like this right here. Let's see. I'm glad he pulled this up. Ooh, I was just talking about this recently. Oh, matter of fact, Native Wild Man was just talking about this. So Native Wild Man, who was talking about, and this is crazy how things work. Native Wild Man was just in my chat just talking about Andrew Galata recently. Called him a nut hugger because of what he did to Riddick Bowe. Now Bill Haney posts a thing from a couple of days ago. When was this? Wednesday, 2 days ago, talking about fighters who sued guys for things that happened inside the ring. Fighters who sue other fighters. But when I seen this list, he's missing a name that I pointed out recently. It's a fighter on this list that I pointed out recently that Bill Haney doesn't have on the list. And it's for battery. Because people say, I never seen a boxer sue anybody for battery. This is why I have a boxing channel now. So you'll know what boxers, for everybody out there that says they never seen a boxer get sued for battery. Well, this is why I have a boxing channel now. So you'll know. So if anybody who doesn't know, you're going to find out through me. And that boxer is Zab Judah. Because if everybody don't know it, he almost lost his life messing around with some guy who was juicing. And the ramifications of everything that happened, he needed to get a lawsuit ready and to sue this guy. Because that right there was it caused it caused a lot of damage, bro. The man had a brain bleed and everything. And that's one that Bill Haney doesn't have on here. But I think the dude's name is Cletus Selden, if I'm not mistaken. But Zab Judah sued him in like 2020, 2019 or something like that. If people don't believe me, I'll pull it up. Let me go ahead and get it real quick. But this is a guy who was sued. So for all these people that's in boxing, all these liars that I hope Turkey Yellow Sheik gets out of boxing, I don't care if these guys print newspapers or not. I don't care if they're reporters. Get all these guys out of boxing. All of these reporters and everything, get these guys out of boxing. Because they're all liars. Get these guys out of boxing. Immediately. Every reporter that's in boxing right now needs to be out of boxing. I don't care who you are. Zab Judah hires law firm, demands Selden's drug test results. The man almost passed away in the ring. This is why we're getting all these people out of boxing. These people who have boxing channels and stuff, they are literally assisting on getting people murdered in the ring. And it's that serious. These boxing channels, all these YouTubers, they're assisting right now in getting people murdered for super chats and stuff. So all that RIP to this guy and RIP to this boxer and this, oh my God, this boxer just passed away in the ring. I don't want to hear anybody saying none of that crap ever again. These people are literally out here just to see people pass away in the ring. That's it. And they want to see people from a certain country pass away in the ring. It's that serious. So, yeah, he hired a law firm for a battery. Guess why? Because a man tried to kill him in the ring. Okay? Oh, why are you going through all of this? Why are you going through all of this? Oh, man, I never seen anybody sue a boxer for battery. Oh, okay. Get these reporters and these journalists out of boxing immediately. We do not need them here. This is another example of why these guys are liars and why they don't need to be in boxing. If you have children, please quit having your children regurgitate what these idiots and these clowns and these liars be saying. All you're doing is passing your kids off to a liar when you sit around and let these people regurgitate this type of stuff in this world. You are not making the world better by having your kids sit around and learn the habits of these liars and these race fans in boxing. They are destroying the sport of boxing. I don't know how many examples I got to pull up. Bitterbeef just made $10 million his last fight. Undisputed champion. The man had the highest KO rate last year in boxing. Now he's sitting up here playing. He almost making less money than Katie Taylor. Come on, man. Get these guys out of boxing. Get these guys out of boxing. They are hurting the sport. They are not helping. Yeah, me either, man. I ain't trying to see nobody. Because you know what's crazy about that? And this is how you know guys is on PEDs. Native Wild Man. These guys was having 15-round fights. These guys was having 15-round fights years ago. And now all of a sudden, boxing is just harder now. Going 10 rounds is just impossible. You know, it's because you got a superhuman in there. I don't know if a lot of people watch Batman and when they put that stuff in Bane. I don't know how these guys watch all these superhero movies. They have PEDs in superhero movies. This is why people don't have no excuse. They have PEDs. I just made a new tea blend. Oh, that's what's up. I'm gonna check it out when I get off of here. They have PEDs in superhero movies. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I might try to make it tomorrow. If you look at Batman Forever, when they made Bane, the guy Bane, you know Bane. Everybody knows the villain Bane. They had to put PEDs in him for him to get strong. When you look at when you look at Venom serum, exactly, Venom serum. Then when you look at Batman, not Batman, when you look at Blade needed serum after he got bit by the vampire. That's considered a PED. What else? I said Batman. Captain America. You remember when Captain America was a little skinny guy? Then they put him on that stuff and put him in that machine. That's a PED. You gotta understand that. Ask any bodybuilder who walks around. It's a lot of bodybuilders walking around right now that's 60, 70 years old. You know what they're saying? Man, I should have never took those PEDs and those steroids. I should have never took those steroids and PEDs. I should have never took it. That's why a lot of these guys, when you see them retire from boxing, they got a big old belly. These dudes they used to box at 135, but they walk around 250. Shoot, it's a lot of guys that boxed in the 2000s and they fatter than Larry Holmes is. Larry Holmes skinnier than some of these guys. Look how fat some of these guys is. They dropping weight. One day they 100 pounds more, 100 pounds less. That's why people have no excuses, man. It's too much television in this world. Bro, we know what we're looking at. Yeah, exactly. The Blade was a half vampire, and mother was bitten that gave birth to him. Exactly. So some people would consider that a PED. Oh man, you fighting off the things that would happen to you if you wanted to be a vampire. You're supposed to naturally let it happen. Why are you taking that serum? So in every movie you see that's Marvel or uh I know Spawn, he ended up having to go to the underworld, but at the same time, he still had the suit. The suit would be considered a PED. Iron Man, the suit he had. Superman being from Krypton. So all that stuff is you know, it kind of lets you know that we have elements on Earth that can kind of change or make a guy superhuman in a lot of ways. Like this is nothing new. Yeah, so he didn't have to hurt people. Yeah, so every movie has some kind of education behind making a guy superhuman or making him normal or human again, and the vampire situation, not a vampire, as far as a daywalker, a lot of different stuff. So I mean, for everybody just to real look at boxing and like, man, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to break this down, and I don't understand why a PED would be so bad. You're an idiot. It ain't got nothing to do with boxing. It ain't got nothing to do with PEDs. It's you know, everybody didn't have the same grade level when they graduated or reading level, whatever. So I think a lot of these people, I don't know, man. I thought they were just playing sides, but I think a lot of these people are, I don't know. They don't get air in their brain like I thought they did. Yeah, Wolverine's skeleton. Exactly. 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 It was another one I was thinking of. I was trying to think about. Can't really think about it right now. Yeah, like a lot of people think, oh man, this stuff ain't real. Like the guy Xavier from not Star Wars, but Xavier from X-Men. They have people like that out here for real. They can read people's minds and everything else. I know I'm going a little too deep right now, but yeah, for people to be out here acting like, man, I don't know how to this PED situation. Okay, you don't understand that, but you can sit around here and break down a Marvel movie and understand why this character doesn't like this guy and that. Come on, man. Let's stop it. And this is one that Native Wildman was just talking about. He just brought up Andrew Gallardo. Man, these people don't know the history of boxing. Yep, the Hulk gamma radiation. What's up, Warlock Boxing? The Hulk gamma radiation was a good one. Um, yeah, that gamma radiation was a good one. Yeah, it's been a lot of different things that have been happening. That's why I think that's why I think Dana White's gonna cut into a lot of this stuff though. It's gonna be so many fights going on that you know what really hurts the guys when it's like, you know, people been saying guys cycle off of PDs or whatever. The thing that kind of kills all that is activity. If guys was fighting every 2 or 3 months, I ain't gonna say every 2 months, that sounds insane. Let's just say every 3 months. It would be very hard to kind of cycle off of PEDs on and off, to be honest with you. It's gonna be a slip up somewhere. But when guys are fighting like every 8 months, 9 months, that's when you usually can have a chance to really like, you know, clean yourself out or whatever. But yeah, it's been a lot of situations recently, but I don't think Dana White gonna have too many situations going around his league where this will be going on too much as far as guys popping. And to be honest with you too, I don't know if popping for PEDs in this era will be the same as it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago. I think if, for a guy to pop on PEDs right now will be worse than it would have been years ago. Oh, Fantastic Four with the cosmic powers. Yeah, you're right about that one. I forgot about that one. Yeah, matter of fact, I gotta watch. I had just remember how Green Lantern got his powers. I forgot they had Ryan Reynolds as Green Lantern. That dude was like 3 or 4 characters. But yeah, I think fighting 3 or 4 times a year that'll cut out a lot of those guys cycling on and off. But it's gonna be hard though to kind of just stick in and do the same things they have been doing. Yeah, the power ring. Power ring. When he found that guy who was dead, and I forgot about that. The power ring. Yeah, the power ring. I think the only movie I haven't seen is I don't know if it's DC Comics or Marvel. Is the Aquaman movie. I haven't seen that yet for some reason. That's probably the only movie I haven't seen is Aquaman. I gotta check that out. Yeah, they gotta come up with some better superhero movies though. Starting to get a little bland. I ain't seen the new Captain America, but I think they kind of waited too long to come out with that one, anyways. I think this era is different though, because usually they have the same superheroes for about 10 or 15 years now. I'll be like, man, come on, man. You know, back in the days, the guy was a superhero for 5 years at the max. Chris Adam with his sword of power. Yeah, that back then, man, they used to have a superhero around for like 5 years and they'll change the character out. But having Iron Man for like 10, 15 years and same James Bond for a long time, this is unheard of. They've had the same Wolverine for about 20 years. I don't know if people know it or not. Hugh Jackman been Wolverine for 20 years. 20 years. I'm like, man, they gonna have to switch out these superheroes soon. But man, it's a lot of news coming out, man. But it was funny though. I had to point out that you know, Bill Haney kind of missed out on that Zab Judah one when that guy when he sued that Cletus Selden guy. That was definitely a wild situation. I can't believe he sued him like that. Should have though. And that's what I don't understand in boxing now. People like, man, boxing it's bad to sue people and things like that. Bro, you're a boxing fan. When did we start caring about who sues somebody or not? That's the only thing I'm wondering. Who cares who sues somebody or not, man? I don't think we even care about if somebody done wrong with sport of boxing or not. And that's what's caused a lot of us to, yeah, that's what's caused a lot of us to look at the sport a certain way. It's a lot of people are questioning the sport right now after what happened the last couple of weeks, because people was already complaining after the Adamas fight, but they got to clean boxing up, man. Most of the mistakes have been in the United States. You can't blame no other place and say, man, why are they? That dude